so we've just done our first track at truLondon on day 2, and it was around why we should get mobile and how digital is transforming the world of recruitment. Andy, you led the track. What were your key takeaways from that session?
The first one, most obvious, mobile's not a fad.
Yeah.
And I think whilst there were lots of different sort of angles, the term mobile, I think, confuses people. I think from clients, just looking at mobile makes them think about, oh, well, whilst I invest, it's another thing to look at. Whereas actually what we were talking about was, it's around a couple of things. The candidate experience. So understanding that candidates aren't just candidates, they're consumers. You have to step right back and think about them as users and how they're consuming information. And so rethink the way the information gets presented to people at different stages of the journeys they're on. And it gives you a great opportunity. Statistically, we were talking about the lack of metrics, and I think one of the things for agencies out there is they need to provide more metrics that actually demonstrate the value of it. But it gives a couple of opportunities. The first one is the employer brand aspect and making sure that you are creating a brand experience. The second one is more transactional, just making sure that if I'm a candidate and I've heard something, I'm engaged with you as a company, I can go in at that point in time, use my mobile, which I'm more likely to do, check out you as a company and apply then and there. We did start touching a few more extreme areas, and so there is a question about reinventing the whole of HR, which I understand exactly where he's coming from. Technology is changing at such a pace that the users who are coming into this world don't know life without broadband internet access. They don't know life without these channels, and they consume information in a completely different way. So one of the other points is it's not just reacting to what you have now, it's thinking 3 to 5 years ahead and trying to plan for that. I think it's
So, and I absolutely agree with all of that. We're clearly very passionate about the whole mobile, the need for it. What about, I mean, companies that have already got websites in existence, you know, the C-suite that think, okay, well, we're fine, we're attracting candidates right now. How do we kind of help them with that transition to understand that mobile needs to be an integrated part of their strategy right now?
There are probably some small tweaks or adjustments to the information that you have and the way that you present it that you can put into your digital channels to make it easier to access that information via a mobile device. And there are plenty of blogs and thought pieces out there. Anyone, you can ask me, I'll give you a paper that talks about this is where you should focus. I think from a C-suite level, this just comes back to information. They need to understand the value of the investment, because there is an investment. To do it properly, there is an investment that's required. And there are agencies out there, there are organisations out there that are doing it very, very well. And there's a call for agencies out there or clients out there who have that information to be able to provide that to help. Because the reality is at C-suite level, it comes down to financial investment. I spend X, I get Y in return. And that's our collective challenge, is to give them that information to help them understand it's not a fad, it's not another thing. Actually, it fundamentally requires you to kind of rethink the way that you work things, and there are viable benefits to doing that.
And I think the point was made that the analytics of either the consumer behaviour at the starting end of that process to design the user experience, or at the back end in terms of how it improves productivity, it's adding those metrics to take away that fear factor. Yeah,
and I'd love to see the metrics all joined up. I'd love to see, come to your point that you raised about, because candidates are consumers too, I'd love to see marketing and recruitment and HR all join their data up, but I imagine that's going to be a few years from now.
I think you're right. Thanks very much, Andy.
Thank you.